Signore e signori,
dichiaro aperti i 9 Giochi Paralimpici invernali.
Si sta avvicinando allo stadio.
Forza, forza! Vai, 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 vai! Dal record della pista! Record della pista! Prima!
Buongiorno and welcome to Keep the Flame Alive's Day 4 coverage of the Milano Cortina 2026 Winter Paralympic Games. I am your host, Jill Jarris, coming to you from TKFLASTAN House in Venezia Mestre, joined as always by my lovely co-host, Alison Brown. Alison, ciao, como stai?
And it's still only day 4.
That's true. It's been a very long 4 days. The Paralympics that will never end. But not that we don't want them to end competition-wise.
No, the competition is amazing. We just are tired of being on buses and trains for extended periods of time.
Yes, I don't know how long-haul truck drivers do it. I don't know how anybody with a massively long commute does it all the time. It's tough. This one's taking a toll.
And it's not like I can read a novel while I'm commuting. I'm still trying not to be sick.
I know.
I mean, Dramamine is a wonder drug, but I'm not going to push it by, reading a book on the bus.
I took a book from a little free library in Venice and off the island, and I am slowly working my way through it. I thought it would be a quicker read. Part of it is the bus is too back and forth, and part of it is it's not well written.
Oh,
I will say that,
no.
but it's enough to entertain me and distract me for a little while.
I just sleep on the bus now.
Oh, that's good.
That's
good.
mostly my bus activity is sleeping.
Well, we forgot yesterday to talk about your takeout pizza adventure.
So I don't know how much of an adventure it was, but I went to Milan yesterday, so I was home earlier than you, and I was so hungry. And I do have a little bit of food still that we got at the grocery store, but I said, no, I want something hot. So I went to Michelle's across the street from the hotel, and I looked at what they had, and they had some lovely looking fungi pizza. At least I thought it was fungi, but it was actually fungi and some kind of meat, which ended up being quite lovely. Mm-hmm. And I still had some for tonight.
Yes, and
because they cut it in an odd way.
they did, because you offered some to me, so
Yes.
I did not heat up my food yesterday. I partook in pizza, and there were 2 slices, so I pulled them out, and they didn't all come. I went, okay.
So what happened was it was 2 slices that she then cut in half vertically, making 4 slices, but then she cut all 4 of those slices horizontally,
So you
making
had
8
kind
chunks.
of a party cut, as we would call it.
Is that what you call that? I just
It's a
call it weird.
Midwestern. Yeah, I call that. I call it weird on a pizza like that. If
It wasn't square.
It was a thinner crust. Maybe it'd be a little bit more normal to me. But it was. I was like, "Ooh, you went and got a pizza."
I was so hungry. I hadn't had a real meal in like 2 or 3 days. So
True.
I just wanted something. And I did it again today. I didn't get pizza today, but I did get media center food today. 'Cause
Oh,
I
did
just
you?
wanted a meal. I'm finding myself needing a meal. And today I had pasta with vegetarian meatballs. That was also
Ooh.
quite tasty.
I will say the venue media center food is quite nice.
Yes.
When you can get the hot meal, like getting food at the hockey venue can be a little frightening because it's all microwaved, and
Right.
some of it's seafood.
Oh,
And it was like when I went to try to order like a chicken cutlet sandwich, they tried to give me a bowl with a couple of like a bowl of something with a couple of shrimp on top. And not a huge fan of shrimp anyway, but B, really not a fan of microwaved shrimp. That just sounded so awful to me.
Yeah.
Anyhow,
I have a feeling I'll be going back to
Yes.
the media center tomorrow because I am just all of a sudden really hungry. It's like not eating for
yeah.
the first 4 days kind of has caught up to me.
So did you wait for it while you were there? Like, how long did it take to make this pizza? Or was it like pre-made and they just heated it up?
It was pre-made and they just put it in the oven to make it hot. So
Okay.
I was only there a few minutes, but
Okay.
they were lovely in there. I may go back.
All right. Today you went up to the mountain. So how was your ride?
I had a little bit of an adventure today because our train friend was on the bus today
Train friend.
that we interviewed at
Oh,
Verona.
really?
Yes, one of our girls was there.
Oh.
So she was taking a ride up to Cortina today.
Oh, very nice.
So we got to chat a little bit more, and I got to give her another pin because apparently there was a child who loved the look of our pin.
Okay.
So she had to trade for that one. So she said, "Do you have another one?" And I said, "Yes, I do. For you, anything."
So how was Giacomo in the morning?
He was 20 minutes late,
Okay.
and he tried to make up for it by not stopping at stops that people needed.
No way.
So we passed by San Vito, and suddenly the woman goes, "He didn't stop." And she goes downstairs and starts arguing with him that she needed to stop at San Vito and he didn't stop. And he's trying to convince her that he stopped. He just didn't wait for her to get off the bus since she didn't say anything. But we all knew he just didn't stop because he was so far behind schedule.
Wow.
Because we also had an air stop earlier. So during our long stop that we think is for his break, the tire needed to get filled, which was very disconcerting when you're filling a tire and you're going up the mountain.
And you have people on the. Did you have to stay on the bus or did you have to get off the bus?
We were on the bus. I don't think anybody else noticed what was happening because of where they were sitting. I was sitting toward the front and on the side of the tire being
Wow.
filled. So that was, and there was a lot of arguing going on there between the two men because Giacomo always has a friend with him.
Yes.
And I don't really know what his role is in this operation.
The other morning zoo guy. Maybe that's why Giacomo doesn't like morning zoo on radio because he's busy doing it in real life.
Exactly. So there was a lot of yelling between the two of them while this tire was getting filled. So that was a little disturbing, but I just put my trust in Giacomo and the mountain, and somehow we made it up.
Wow.
We have never been on time once on the bus. I didn't even know what time the bus was supposed to get there.
It just gets there when Giacomo says.
It gets there when Giacomo says. Exactly. But on the ride home, we had a new driver.
Oh.
And I'm going to call him Marco. And he was quite handsome.
Ooh.
And he was very smooth.
Okay.
And I mean in his driving, not in his personality. I have no idea what his personality was. But he also liked to talk on the phone and listen to pop music.
I think they all like listening to pop music.
And talking on the phone. So, but he got us home early. We got back about 1:15 when we're supposed to get back on the hour. But yeah, he was lovely. So Marco is added to our pantheon of drivers here.
All right. I did take the train today and perfectly fine. It's lovely. And when I was coming back, I got onto my car and like, whoa, it's hot in here. And I took my seat and it could have, and I thought, well, it might be because I actually dressed for hockey this time.
It's so hard to dress for any of these things. I was cold in curling today. I was comfortable up in Alpine, and then I was cold at curling.
Yeah, so I actually did break out my base layer for the first time.
Nice.
And wore my city pants, which are not fleecy or anything on the inside. So that's why I put the base layer on, because I figured there are fewer people going to be in this venue. It's going to be colder. And had a couple layers on top in my coat. And except for I didn't really need it because I did hoof up the stairs because I was late.
Yeah.
And didn't know I couldn't remember if the elevator was quick or not. So I was just like, go. You see the stairs there, and you know that elevator somewhere. You can never find it. But speaking of that elevator, which has a mirror in it, and it was immediately broken in the Olympic hockey. Did you notice that?
I did not. I must never have seen it.
Next time you go in there, it's got like red and white danger tape. Not danger, it doesn't say danger, but red and white tape covering the cracks in the mirror. It's huge. Oh my gosh. So I'm sitting there and the conductor comes by and she starts talking to me in Italian because apparently I now look Italian enough. or my buongiornos and buenos aires are good enough that they just start talking to me in Italian. And she says stuff to me in Italian, I'm like, huh? And then she has to break it out in English. And she said, there's a problem with the car. It's too hot. I'm like, well, good, it's not me. We're going to move you to business class.
Nice.
Yeah. And she said, this is your wagon number and your seat number. If you want to move, you can move. You don't have to if you don't want to.
And you said, I'm moving right now.
I am moving. And I had already gotten my service for that.
Did you get double service?
I did get double service. And I got...
Nice.
In my seat, I had gotten water and nuts and cookies.
Yes.
And then when I moved up to business class, and my seat was taken, but I was like not going to fuss over that. There was a single seat open. I'll take a single seat any day. And service came by and I got a glass of wine.
Oh, look at you.
And a sandwich, which, that means I have food for tomorrow.
Oh, I'm jealous.
Yeah, I know. So that was fun.
That was your adventure for the day.
Exactly. I noticed in the Substack, you were like, we haven't seen Milo. I saw Milo at Alpine yesterday.
I saw Milo at Alpine today. Just very, very briefly. He came out, he danced for a few minutes, took a couple pictures, and then disappeared.
Huh. I wonder where he's going.
I don't know. Up and down the mountain on his tail, apparently.
Milo, we need more of you. Maybe they're not letting him come out very much because you can't buy him.
He cannot be bought.
At least not here.
Not here.
All sold out. I did go by, when I was coming back, I had a couple of minutes to wander around a little bit. So I did want to see what Milano Centrale looked like up front because there had been a pavilion that's gone, long gone. But there's a store there too. So I went into the store. Oh, slim pickings in the store. Like almost empty racks. They had some board games because there's a game of the games that's kind of cute. There's some pins, there's some keychains, but there's not much going on. So I feel bad for everybody who wants Paralympic merchandise because it ain't
Too
there.
bad for you.
Yeah, and the merch, the clothing that was there was mostly Olympic. And
there wasn't a lot of Paralympic gear anyway. But on the other hand, a lot of it just said Milano Cortina
which is fine.
2026,
Yes.
which kind of covers all grounds.
Yes, exactly. But yeah. And it was hot in there too. It was roasting. I don't know how the woman in there was managing it, but she was happy to see somebody, I think. Speaking of getting to Milano, we're having something we're calling the Grand Finale 150 now. Even though in my brain says we've only got 2 days left. But really we have like a week almost. No. We have like
5 days.
5 days left. But you know how bad, listeners, the transportation situation is for us because we can't get to competitions on time. On Sunday, the last day of the games, there is Alpine skiing, which due to the bus schedule in Giacomo in the morning, we would miss part of.
Never mind miss part of. We would miss 2/3 of at least.
Yes. There is cross-country skiing.
Which we can't get to because it's too far away.
There is the closing ceremony.
Which we can't get home from because there's no bus.
Right. And we can't even pay for a bus to get home from the closing ceremony because Cortina is loaded with buses that take you back and forth to places.
But not at midnight.
No, not even after 6:30. Really, let's be honest. They don't go late. And so the only other sport that's on Sunday is para ice hockey, and that's the 2 medal games. Now, as you've heard, listeners, and you will hear again, the only transportation option we are provided with by the Milano Cortina Organizing Committee allows us to see precisely 2 periods of one game.
In the middle of the day.
Yes. And the Sunday game schedule is a little different. So if we would use our provided transportation, that means 0 periods
of 0 games.
Right. So, and they told us as you went to the games desk yesterday.
Too bad.
Yes, too bad. If you want to go to Milano at different times, other than what we get access to, we have to pay for it ourselves. So we would love to be able to see an entire hockey game.
and share that with you.
Right. And the medal games. But we're at the end of the game, so we have also hit the end of our budget. We are asking for your help to get over to Milano. We need to raise just $150 over the next few days so that we will be able to go to para ice hockey and provide you with the type of coverage for the medal games that we've wanted to do all games long. So if you can chip in a couple bucks, we can pool it all together and cover this cost. As a bonus, we hope to be able to record at least some of the show
On the train.
In the station, maybe someplace, kind of live recording.
Yeah, at the
situation.
venue.
Yes, something to make that a little bit more fun. So if you enjoyed our live show from Verona Stazione, I'm dying to do one from the train because there is some messages while you were on the train that I would love to have on tape. So if you can chip in a couple bucks, please go to flamealivepod.com and click on the Yes, I'll Support You button that's on the front page. So thank you so much. We really hope to be able to get over to Milano and make this happen. All right, we've got results today.
Yes, so Para Alpine, I was there for part of it.
Okay.
Because I was trying to do two things at once, which as we all keep trying to do. So I saw 4 of the races of the 6.
Oh, that's not bad.
No,
you got
that
more
was
than I did.
That was pretty much exciting.
And getting there, how was your trip getting there?
Getting there was not bad. I followed directions as I was told. The best thing you told me was to look for the TG01.
Okay.
And that was the critical piece of information for me to be secure that I was getting on the correct bus.
See, when I got told, I just held up one finger next to my body. Oh, that was it. I just had it down, hand down to side, one finger out. And that's all I could do to remember TG01.
Well, because I did see TG02 and I said, nope, do not get on that bus. That is the wrong bus. And then there was another bus that was a big bus. And you had said, no, it's a little bus. And that also was very helpful, but it did not say TG01 on the big bus, so I knew that that was not my bus.
Okay.
That was not meant for me. That was meant for others.
Okay.
And it was nice because that actually stops at Para Snowboard. So when we come back from Para Snowboard on Saturday to curling, we can get on the TG01 and go direct. We don't have to go and do that 20-minute walk.
Okay.
But here's the thing when you're at Para Snowboard. Before you get on the bus, you have to ask him up or down.
Oh,
because
okay.
that's the middle section. He could be going either all the way up to Para Alpine or coming down back to curling. Mm-hmm. So there's a lot of up and down conversation that happens at that stop.
Okay. Although, part of me would go, well, I'll just get a seat. He'll come back down eventually.
But they don't come back down directly.
Oh, okay.
They don't just turn around and keep going.
Oh.
In between each run, I think they get a little rest.
Okay, so you do want to, yeah.
So you do want to make sure you're not on the up or down bus.
Okay.
The only problem I ran into was I didn't know where to sit. So I ended up sitting in the 4 marked press seats way up in the back corner.
4?
There were 4 seats marked press in the upper. It was a fantastic view because I was high up, so I could really see 3/4 of the course.
Wow.
I really could just not see the start gate. Everything else, once they turned that first curve, I could see the whole race from there. So that was pretty exciting. I saw Lorenzo, your favorite announcer. He was fantastic. And the 2 in-house announcers, also fantastic. Saw all the Dutch in all their orange glory, the rooster costumes, the hats, matching T-shirts. There was a lot of group activity happening at this race.
Yes.
So I was a big fan of that. So I saw the second races of the day because this was all super combined.
Okay.
Because the first races of the day were done by, I think, 10:40. And I was just getting into town with Giacomo, even though it's supposed to get there at 10:30. So I went up for the 1 o'clock races, which was great because then I got there, I got myself settled, and then could tackle getting up to the mountain.
Okay. I saw a theme of the day, and that would be, are you seeing double?
See, now what does that mean?
That means we have a lot of second gold medals today.
Oh, yes,
Double
that's
golds.
true.
So,
some names that crashed out are names that we have been mentioning
Oh, wow. So today was combined, which is
Yes.
slalom and Super G.
Yes, so it's the combined. So you've got two races. So the first half was the Super G, and then I got to see the slalom.
Oh, okay.
Which was really exciting. Yeah. So Robin Kush, who we've mentioned, Kurt Oatway, and Varvara Varachkina, who we've all mentioned as medalists, crashed out in the Super G portion. So we won't be mentioning them again. Yeah, it was rough in the Super G, but not so much in the slalom.
That's
People
interesting.
made it down except for a couple of little things that we'll mention as we're going along.
All right. So we have the women's combined visually impaired. Gold went to Veronika Eigner from Austria. Her second gold here, fourth overall gold Paralympic medal.
She seemed surprised at the end that she won. So I don't know. She wasn't lagging behind. She was in the lead after the Super G. So you would think she wouldn't be surprised, but she looked shocked. You know, she was sort of, and very thrilled with this win, which, you know, of course was great, but it kind of looked like she looked over at the screen, then looked over at her guide, then looked over at the screen again. And she's listening to them say that she won, and she seemed very shocked at the whole thing, which was fun.
Wow. How does that work with the slalom? I mean, because it's it's way more technical.
So they turn off the music and they tell the crowd to be quiet, just like it was goalball, so that you're not supposed to cheer until they're at the very end of the race. And people were really good about it. That it was a little odd because you could hear the shushing of the skis, because everybody was so quiet during the visually impaired portions of the race.
Could you hear any of the conversation? No,
I didn't.
Okay,
I don't know. Maybe if
they're on like a radio or mic or something.
They are, but I think if I had been maybe further down, I was very high up, as I said. If I had been further down, you may have heard it at the end. But by the time they get to us, they're not saying much anymore because it's just those last couple gates.
Oh, okay. Oh man, fascinating. Silver went to Chiara Mazel from Italy, and bronze went to Elena Stari from Austria.
So 2 medals for Austria.
Nice. In the women's combined sitting, gold went to Audrey Pascal Seco from Spain, second gold. Silver went to Annalena Forster from Germany, another familiar name, and bronze went to Liu Xitong from China.
I loved what she had to say. Because you talk about themes, we're going to get a good theme on this one. So she wanted
Audrey Pascal.
Audrey Pascal Seco. She had said that when asked about what she's going to do about her day off tomorrow, she says, "I will sleep. I will talk with my friends. I will talk with my family. I just want to do nothing." And they have been racing a lot the past few days. It was one race day after another. So she deserves a rest with her 2 gold medals. She can cuddle with them.
Yeah. Tomorrow rest day, so it's going to be good for them. Yeah, it's tough schedule.
This is a rough schedule.
In the women's combined standing, gold went to Sweden's Ebba Arjo, a third medal of the games, second gold. Silver went to Auriel Richard from France. Did you see the big shirts that they all had?
Yes.
That was so nice.
I just like the rooster costumes, to be honest. I was fascinated with those.
And bronze went to Zhu Wengjing from China. In the men's combined visually impaired, gold went to Giacomo Bertagnoli from Italy.
His full set. Aww. He said yesterday that he wanted to win the gold. That was really important to him, that he walk away from these Paralympics with a gold medal, and he did it. So nice job.
Good job,
Giacomo.
And he repeats gold. So he was the champion in Beijing as well. So that is nice, and nice to do it at home. And probably the crowd went nuts.
Crowd went wild.
Silver went to Neil Simpson from Great Britain, and bronze went to Johannes Eigner from Austria.
So Bertagnoli also said, "I'm going to sleep for 2 days because I'm so tired." To which I say, "I am with you, Giacomo. I could use 2 days of sleep." He said, "I need to have a rest, a lot of power naps, and then I'm ready to compete again in a couple of days."
Wow. So I imagine he's going to rest, and then he's going to power nap, and he's going to get up, and he's probably going to eat.
Yes,
and rest.
And then he's going to power nap
Yes,
again.
exactly.
I like that kind of schedule, Giacomo.
And in the men's combined standing, gold went to Arthur Brochet from France, silver went to Federico Pellizzari from Italy, and gold went to Thomas Grosser from Austria.
So speaking of crashing out, what we were saying, so Alexei Bugayev had led for over a second in the Super G portion. And then in those last couple of gates, he crashed out in the slalom. So his time would have beaten Bochet.
Oh, wow.
Except he crashed.
Wow. And Bochet is pretty resilient here because he crashed out in the Super G on Monday, had to go to the hospital. And there's some kind of injury there, but he was good enough to go back down the mountain today and get this gold and defend his title.
And did not so bad for him today.
No. And in the men's combined sitting, gold went to Jeroen Kempschroyer from Netherlands. Silver went to René Di Silvestro from Italy, and bronze went to Niels de Langen from Netherlands. So Jeroen's got another gold because he got gold yesterday.
Yes.
And the Dutch must have been going crazy.
Absolutely wild. But I love that he called it absurd that he got a second gold medal in a row. He said, that is absurd.
Well, you don't see the Dutch on a podium except for in the Paralympics. When you think Alpine, you do not think the Dutch. You also do not think the British. And yet, here we are.
Here they are. And Di Silvestro is the local boy that we have heard, and he was very disappointed with that fourth place finish.
Oh, I'm sure.
The other day. So getting on the podium was a big deal. He said he was a little angry about his run, and he wanted to destroy all the gates. So, hey, it got him a silver medal, and of course the locals were thrilled with that. So
I
Italy
wonder
did.
what we'll see on the house. If we'll see anything different on the house that's
Oh,
going back
yeah, to
tomorrow.
celebrate.
Yeah, that would be nice. A good day on the mountain. Did you enjoy being there?
I did enjoy being there, and it was really nice because at first when I got there, the sun was out and it was a little warm, and then it also made it very difficult to see at first because of just the angle of the sun and the glare. But then it just went behind the clouds, and it got to be like a comfortable cool, as you're supposed to feel when you're out on the mountain, and so lovely to watch. It really was just lovely Paralympic slope setup that they have there.
Yeah, it looks like a good course. I'm curious to see slalom. I don't know if that's on the docket still.
Yes,
And
you
when
still
we
have
go
the
to-
individual
okay.
slalom races.
Awesome. Over in para cross country skiing, we had the women's sprint sitting, and gold went to Oksana Masters, who won by a huge 3-second margin. It's her second goal of these games, and she defended her title. Silver went to Kim Yoon-ji from Korea, and bronze went to Wang Xiyu from China.
And Oksana was asked about her fourth place finish in the biathlon and how she had to bounce back from that. And I this is so her, because she said the key is not to carry what happened in the past, just fight the fight today. And that's so her from what we've read of her book and what we've learned about her and having met her and having spoken to her. It's always about what's the races that it's in front of me. What do I have at this moment?
Except for she had a flashback to Sochi.
She did. This was really sweet. So Aaron Pike, who is her fiance, greeted her at the finish line, which apparently in this race he had done in Sochi as well. And I don't know if they were together at that point. I think if they were, it was very early in that relationship. So she said seeing him there and having him greet her kind of brought her back to that moment when she was much younger and much earlier in their relationship together.
Very nice. In the men's sprint sitting, gold went to Liu Zhizhu from China. He defended his title. Silver went to Brazil's Christian Vestermeyer Rivera, which is the first Winter Paralympic for medal in South America, really, which is pretty cool.
Nice job, Brazil.
And he's done this.
Brazil.
And this is his third Paralympics, so he's been around a while trying to get on the podium. And then bronze went to Yerbal Kamatov from Kazakhstan.
Also the first time we've said Kazakhstan this time around. So nice job. And Aaron Pike, as we mentioned him before, but now this was his race. He made it to the semifinals.
In the women's sprint classic standing, gold went to Vilde Nilsen from Norway. She's been trying to get this gold since 2018.
Nice job.
Silver went to Sydney Peterson from USA and Shuklastan.
And Shuklastan. Nice day for Shuklastan.
And bronze went to Canada's Natalie Wilkie, which I don't think we heard if she had bronze glitter. But maybe the gold felt bronzy. I don't know.
Apparently.
Or
but
wore
she's
extra bronzer.
But she's got a full set now from these Paralympics too, so that's nice. And it was interesting because when we spoke to Sydney Peterson at the Team USA Media Summit, she talked about how at Beijing she had no expectations and how it was all very new, and she got a special dispensation, for lack of a better word, to compete. And this time, she said, every time you go up to the starting line at the game, it gets harder and there's more pressure. So she is starting to feel where the position that she's in.
Interesting. I wonder how she analyzes that, because she was quite analytical in things when we talked.
But she said today, she did say she was pretty stoked with how she
that's
skied.
good.
So that's the important part.
In the men's sprint classic standing, gold went to Roman Svierdzenska from Belarus. Silver went to Sebastian Marburger from Germany, and bronze went to Benjamin Davier from France. Wow, this is his 11th Paralympic medal since
And he has been competing since Sochi 2014. Wow. And Svierdzenska crashed in qualification, popped himself back up to get across the finish and still qualify for the next round, and then ended up winning the gold medal.
Wow. Never quit. Never quit. In the women's sprint classic visually impaired class, gold went to Anastasia Bagian from Russia, who won by 9 seconds.
A lifetime.
Wow. Silver went to Lynn Kosmeyer from Germany.
And she has won 2 silvers in Beijing at 15.
Oh, my goodness.
She's still only 19.
Wow. I bet we're going to see that name for a long time.
Yes.
And then bronze went to Kong Ji-young from China.
Leonie Maria Walter originally finished on the podium, but she was penalized for infringing on the classic style. So she did not stay. I guess she must have skied at some point, and they penalized her for that. So she was rated as last for her finish.
In the men's sprint classic visually impaired, gold went to Jake Adikoff from USA and Shuklastan. So, and he's guided by Peter Volter. He was silver at Beijing, so he is thrilled to be getting gold here, and he won by 1.5 seconds.
That's more what we're used to seeing as these differences, not these 6-second, 9-second blowouts.
Yeah. Silver went to China's Yu Shuang, and bronze went to Sebastian Moden from Sweden.
And Moden led for most of that final race, but he didn't pace himself well, he said, so that the other two had paced themselves better, so they were able to pass him at the end.
Interesting. But big day out of Paranordic. Man.
Big day for Shuklastan out of Paranordic.
Right.
Never mind for everybody else.
Oh, Shuklastan. Okay, so I did go to para ice hockey.
All 2 periods of it.
2 periods of it. Sounds so bad. And I had good connections. Like, I got off the train. I'm rushing. I got to the metro quite quickly. Had to wait a few minutes for the train. Train comes. I'm running upstairs. I'm going right to the shuttle. The shuttle had to wait quite a bit, probably a good 5 minutes or so. And then, it got there and it's first intermission, and I was like, oh.
But that's pretty good.
That is pretty good. That is pretty good for the time we have to do it. I do have a stadium beef.
Oh, no.
Because they do have the Omega countdown clock, which is a video on the screen to count everything down. It's all Olympic based. They're still using the one from the Olympics. And I realized today, like, you've got the 10, it's countdown from 10, and not all of the shots are Olympic sports, but there's skating, there's bobsled, there's all this Olympic stuff. And it's like, you didn't put one version in for the Paralympics.
Or even mix it up so that both had both.
Yes, right?
That would have been the more
efficient
equitable thing to do.
So I have a beef about that. First game of the day was Italy versus Germany. Italy won 2-1, but it started out Germany's way. They scored just under 3 minutes into the game. That's all they could get. Italy tied it on a power play that period, and they went ahead for good early in the second and outshot Germany 24-12. I wonder how well attended this game was.
Well, the Italy games seem to always draw a crowd, even though these are early. And I think a lot of the school groups are going to the early games. So that I would expect that the Italy game had several school groups yelling, Italia, Italia.
Probably because there were plenty of school groups at the game I was at, and also poor teachers trying to take attendance on the shuttle bus on the way back to make sure all the kids got there. I felt so bad for her. Oh. And I mean, everybody on the bus is loud, of course, but somehow they magically hear the teacher calling their name. It was fun. I did get to 2 periods of USA versus China. Was very excited to see China and see how they did. And it was just 2-0 by the U.S. At the first intermission. I was very surprised when, and I was following the data on my phone, and just nothing was happening. Like, ooh, China must be good. And I got there, and it was a little, I felt like they were off. Like they weren't necessarily as fast as they were last time in Beijing. Maybe they have a few players that are playing a lot more than other U.S. players. So if they're really leaning on them, they get tired and then they can't come back. It also felt like they were a little disorganized. And there are a few times where their goalie was kind of a little far out. I'm like, ooh, dude, you're exposing the goal a lot here. But
not disciplined, it sounds like.
Yeah. Again, like we heard,
which is what we've heard of China, that they're just that they have a lot of speed, and the skill is getting there, but the discipline isn't there.
Yeah, and a lot of like, and this happened in the last game too. I noticed people aren't getting to where they're supposed to be. It seems like they're not backing up their people. You'll see passes that go to nobody because the other person wasn't there or they couldn't get there in time. So there's a little sloppiness there. China did score a game in the third period. So we got to hear the Chinese song. It's by Strong.
It is.
It is. It's our favorite song from Beijing.
Oh, we were joking the other day about how much we hoped it would be that song. And it was. Oh, that's fantastic.
I was so excited, as were like the 2 Chinese people in the audience from the flag I saw across the way. But I was like, you guys did it. You got it right. I mean, Freebird is a weird choice for USA, to be quite honest. And we've heard it so many times over the last few weeks that it grows on you. I will say that.
Like mold.
But I was thrilled that they got by Strong. So, and I had the last game of the day, which is Slovakia versus Japan, on YouTube while we were prepping. And it seemed to be a song that Slovakians knew as well for their goal score. So yes. I'm very excited that that's how they wanted to celebrate goals all games long. It's been a lot of fun. During this game, Declan Farmer broke the Paralympic point record. So he has 54 points overall throughout his Paralympic career. The U.S. won 7-1. So then just afterwards, the U.S. just broke out and China had next to nothing. They end the preliminaries with a perfect 3-0 record, and they scored 34 goals. 34 goals over the team.
That's
However,
insane.
Both teams are in the semifinals.
So we may see this again.
Yep.
Dwyer Schwang.
And then Canada beat Czechia 4-1, which had to be a wild game. And I very shocked when I looked at the stats on this one, because Canada, because Canada is the other powerhouse, and I expected a lot more. Scoreless after the first period, and then 4 out of the 5 goals of the game were power plays.
Oh.
And the last goal was an empty net.
Huh. That's a surprise.
So Czechia might have had their number a little bit. So
yeah, well, Czechia is an up-and-coming power in sled hockey. I know we're supposed to say para ice hockey, but it's very hard for me to break that habit. But Czechia has been a team to keep an eye on, and definitely fighting for that last medal spot.
So we will see about that. And then we had Slovakia and Japan at the evening. Japan scored first and led into the second period, but Slovakia came back and just dominated in the third. Jopa scored 2 of Slovakia's 5 goals, and they outshot Japan 29-10. Just got a little sloppy beyond defense. So Japan has the only woman in the whole tournament on their team. Her name is Akari Fukunishi. She has not gotten playing time yet at all. But there are other non-goalkeeper players who also have not played yet for Japan. So it's not that she's getting singled out. They just didn't put her in.
And it seems like from what Rob Snoke, who is announcing these games, and Ashok Vastani himself, seems like Japan plays one major line and everybody else is secondary.
Yeah.
So that it's not just her that's not getting a lot of playing time, as you said, that they have players that they really play a lot of those minutes.
Yes. And so that leaves everybody to think, well, what's going on with the women's game? And World Para Ice Hockey Senior Manager Michelle Laflamme said that for inclusion into 2030, they need to have 2 world championships and 8 countries representing 3 regions. So for the women's game, so 2025 World Championships, which was their first, they had 5 countries from 3 regions and then a team world. So they are determined to have a 2026 World Championships. Don't have a host yet, working on it. Since last September, India has started a program. They're getting athletes and equipment ready. They want to play at the 2026 World Champs. Kazakhstan is starting. Mexico is starting. There are athletes in Korea and China, so they may be building teams soon as well. And Fukunishi had said that she's been contacted by other people who want to play in Japan, so that may help too. And it's realistic that women's para ice hockey could be at French Alps 2030. Not a done deal, but that could happen.
Yeah, the 3 regions is not the problem because we have North America, Asia, and Europe working on this.
And Australia played, so
yes.
we've got the 3 regions.
So in essence, we're probably going to end up with 4 regions if they get up to the 8 teams. So it's a growing game, and that's exciting.
Yeah, and I really hope it happens.
Yeah, Monica Quimby, we're pulling for you.
Right. And I do think that World Para Ice Hockey wants a women's game, and I would not be surprised if the International Paralympic Committee wants a women's game as well, because that would really help with the gender balance of the Winter Paralympics, because it is heavy on the men here. And that's ice hockey is really the tipping factor. So we'll see.
Fingers crossed.
Wheelchair curling, we had 2 sessions for team and then the semifinals for the doubles, which you were at.
Yes.
In the first session of the team, Great Britain lost to Italy 8-6. They started up 3-1 after 2 ends, but then it was just all Italy, and the game ended after 7. Great Britain actually did a swap. They swapped out Graham Stewart for Austin McKenzie after the 5th end, at the beginning of the 5th end, and that didn't help, sadly. China beat Canada beat China 9-4, and Canada just led from the beginning. And there's a stat called shot success. Canada was 79% successful on their shots versus 67% for China. This one
do it.
Also went to 7 ends.
And this was the 2 undefeated teams in the tournament. So now Canada remains the only undefeated team.
Nice. And then Korea beat Norway 9-0. And this was just a slow build for Korea, but Norway had trouble all game long. They had 42% shot success, and Jostein Stordal had a pretty tough game. He had a 13% shot success rating.
Wow.
And that's compared to the Koreans had 72% for the entire team. And their vice skip alone their vice skip Nam Bong Kwang had an 84% shot success rating.
Well, yeah, you can't do too much if one person's at 84% and the opponent's at 13.
Yeah, it's really tough. Slovakia beat USA 8-3 in 7 ends because the U.S. just could not get anything going during the game. China beat Latvia 9-5, and even though Latvia scored 3 in the 7th, that just wasn't enough. They conceded. Norway came back from that bad loss in the morning and beat Italy 9-3. And so it kind of flip-flopped. Italy was good in the morning, not great in the evening, conceded after 7. Storedall got it back together. He made 72% of his shots for this one. So nice way to reset there. And then Canada eked out a win off of Sweden 6-5. They got off to a really good start. Sweden came back to make it 5-3 after 7. And then Canada scored 3 in the 8th to get the win.
So standings in the team competition, Canada is, as we said, the only undefeated team in left at 6-0. China's 5-1. Korea and Sweden are 4-2. Slovakia is 3-3. Italy, Latvia, and the United States are 2-4, and Great Britain and Norway are 1-5.
I always want to say Italia.
I do always want to say it. I did almost just say it. Yeah, that was what that little hiccup was. I was about to say Italia because we've been hearing it so much.
Right.
It seeps into your brain. You cannot help it.
So if we say Italia, you know
what we're talking about.
You were at the doubles game.
I was at the doubles, and I will be honest, I saw nothing of China-Latvia because I was only paying attention to the U.S. and Korea. And I did get to speak to Steve and Laura after the match. So we'll spoiler alert here. Korea beat the U.S. 6-3, and after the second end, it was 4-1, and it never really got past. Everything was the U.S. would get a point and Korea would get 2 points. The U.S. would get no points. Korea would get a point. So it was this constant chipping. And I asked Steve, what went right, what went wrong? And he said nothing went right and everything went wrong. He said just everything was a little bit off the whole game. They weren't quite in sync. They weren't quite throwing right. They weren't quite strategizing correctly. He just said everything was just not quite there tonight. And that is kind of how it looked. It looked like they were struggling with every little piece of it. They were calm because they're always calm, but you could see they were overthinking and really working it through.
It's so interesting, and I'd love to sit down and try to figure out, like, over a tournament when you're up and you're down and you're trying to be even, or just like things don't go your way or the ice is not right in a way, or you can't read it just the right way. And Korea is one of the best teams in the world. So, that's also tough to go up against. But yeah, it's so weird how this works, where you're up one game and everything clicks, and then just the next one you think, oh, we're going to be just fine, and it just doesn't click the same way.
I asked Laura how she was, and she definitely was a lot more rattled than Steve was, because as I said to her, this is your first time through this experience. And she said, yeah, I got it in my head. We had a shot because they were in the semifinals, and she had the shot of going into a gold medal game. They are still going to play the bronze medal game. They're still excited about that. And Steve was really positive, as he always is, but saying, they beat China in the round robin, which they have not done. They're going for a medal, which they have not done before. This is going to be the best finish, even if they end up in 4th, that American wheelchair curling has seen at the Paralympics. So it's a positive in the way the program is moving. But this was hard. This was a hard loss.
Yeah.
And then I asked them, what were they going to do tonight? And they said, same thing we've been doing every night. So they were going to go watch the team play. They were going to practice a little bit and just get some rest and come back ready for tomorrow.
Wow. Well, not a great match to watch the team play.
No, they didn't do very well either. But I was able to wish them good luck from all of TKFLASTAN.
Okay.
So I did get to pass that along to them.
That's good.
So the bronze medal match will be USA Latvia, and the gold medal match will be China Korea, which is going to be couple of humdingers.
It is. And it does have to be hard. And I bet you get that in your head. Like, if we win, we are guaranteed a medal. It's just what color. And now you're going to be fighting for a medal. So that'll be interesting to see. Hold on. How'd they do against Latvia?
They won against Latvia. That was the one that was that last stone where oh no, that was Italy. But they did talk a little bit about the game. They played Latvia first, and they said it doesn't matter how we did in the first one because we're both two totally different teams now.
That's true. That's very true. So it'll be interesting to see how both teams.
I think these are going to be two very evenly matched games.
Yes.
You know, China and Korea and U.S. Latvia. I think they're
Yeah.
both on par with each other, and that'll make it super exciting. So I don't know if one of us is going to watch one sheet and one is going to watch the other when we're there, or we're just going to.
We probably should just.
We probably
break it up.
Yeah, but it's going to be hard not to keep an eye on Steve and Laura.
Keep one eye.
Keep one eye on one and one on the other. We know I can't do that.
Oh man, but I'm hoping you guys have a great match. It would be just amazing to get on the medal stand for wheelchair curling in the U.S. But we also have other people competing tomorrow.
Yes, so Oksana Masters, Kendall Gretsch, Sydney Peterson, and Aaron Pike will be competing in the cross-country 10-kilometer.
Jake Gaddikoff doesn't do that one?
He might do that one. I can't have a start list.
Oh, that's right.
So I'm always guessing as to who's racing in these races. So yes, Jake Gaddikoff is probably going to be in that one as well. But on a better note, we have a current TKFLASTAN medal count. We've got 3 golds, 3 silvers, and a bronze.
Nice.
We are doing
Good
quite
job,
well.
Team. All right. And we have shout outs.
Yes. So first is Jackie Tudhill from Londonderry, New Hampshire. I have been to Londonderry.
Oh, you have?
And it is lovely.
Nice, Jackie. And that would be like Jackie Kapanowski, who was, I believe she is Canadian. I didn't write that part down. But she played wheelchair curling at Vancouver 2010 and finished 4th. And then she was in para rowing at Rio 2016 and placed 7th.
Nice.
I'm always impressed by Paralympians who just do 2 random sports together. Winter and summer.
They just can't get enough.
I know.
Or then you have like Oksana Masters who does 14 sports.
Yeah, exactly.
Is there a sport I haven't done yet? I'd like to try it. And second up is Manu. No.
Man, you are a good listener.
He is. He's been the best. And now I'm screwing up his name. Manu Pavola from Helsinki, Finland. One of our OGs, that's for sure.
Yes, exactly. Manu is a staple of the staple. I don't know. The other word popped out of my head just now. Very, very good participant.
He is an anchor of the.
Thank you. What comes out of my mouth keeps getting worse and worse.
But
I'm gonna say we're gonna be worse than Stanley Tucci. And we aren't that. We don't have much left in the show.
But poor Manu, he has been such an anchor of the Facebook group, which, by the way, is Keep the Flame Alive podcast. If you want to read all the amazing things he puts about Olympic history and especially things from Finland and that neck of the woods, is always great for him when he shares.
And Manu, there is an Indian shot putter named Manu, and he competed at Paris 2024. And we have a mascot. Ozzy Augustus, who I'm surprised he's not Ozymandias Augustus, because he is the sibling of Wolfgang von Pfaffel. So we've got more guinea pigs in TKFLASTAN. So thank you very much to Ozzy/Wolfie's family who shared their guinea pigs with us. Excellent. And that's going to do it for this episode. If you want even more fun of the most fun coverage of the games, hit us up. We're at flamealivepod.com. That's your source for our socials, newsletter, and direct ways to contact us. And if you aren't getting the newsletter, it's via Substack if you're already on Substack, but it's free. You just sign up. Excellent stuff coming out of Alison's fingers and brain. lately.
For now. It's only day 4. It can burn out fast.
No, we got to keep that flame alive. And join our Facebook group, like Alison said. That's where we are posting things first, and we're chatting to people. Be sure to tune in tomorrow if we forgot to tell anything about you today. I really have just lost it. I don't know what happened.
That's okay. It's the end of day 4, and there's always a point at which we start losing our mouths.
Well, that happened yesterday.
Yes, when Stanley Touchy showed up.
I just have an image in my head of what Stanley Touchy, the character, could look like.
Does he have on a TKFLASTAN shirt?
He might. He might be a friend of Eric Hayden. You never know. Just like you.
That's right. Stanley Touchy and I are best friends with Eric Hayden.
All right, so that's where we are. Also, grand finale 150. If you got a few bucks, please send it our way so that we can get to Milano to cover the gold medal and bronze medal hockey matches in person. So, grazie mille per l'ascolto.
And until next time, ciao, and keep the flame alive.